Hello, ladies. Guess where I was?
Helen.
And where were
Where were
you?
you? Tell us
South of
all
France.
about it.
South of France. Doesn't that
Oh,
sound lovely? I was in
I
Italy.
love that. It's exotic.
Yeah.
Exotic is what it sounds like.
I was in
Yes.
Italy. I was in
Italy, you
Spain.
were
I
in
was in the
Italy too?
south of France. Yeah. I did it all. I did it all.
so
But okay. The part in south of France with was with there was nine of us and two other couples we've traveled with before, two other groups, but two other we hadn't traveled. And I was kind of a little concerned because these are all A type personalities that it could have gone either really good or kind of not so good. And so, how do you think it went?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, that you're right. It can go multiple ways, but
And
what?
these are all people our age, so they're being brought up a certain way too. So they don't aren't necessarily, a lot of younger people tend to try to appease everyone. So
So, what was
just
your
putting that in there.
concerns? What were your concerns? Because you're all a personality.
Because I never traveled with these two couples before, and they're A type personalities, and we socially we're fine. We've just never gone to that level. It's just never had an opportunity, and I was just concerned. I don't know, like maybe just too much for me, or like I need a little bit of downtime throughout my time, and maybe you're just too much for me.
Well, don't leave us in suspense.
Oh no, they were awesome.
So,
No, but it was not what I was expecting because the people that I thought would be really A type were just chill and just super. It was super fun and everything. But we had been planning this for a long time. And this was one of, like, I was pre worried about something that wasn't even a concern. And so the trip was fantastic. Everyone was amazing, but it bothered me that I inserted something in my planning that was there was no need for it to be there. Like,
Mhm.
why am I, because stress is energy. Why am I holding on to this for 6 months, concerned about something that's not even something I should be thinking about?
well,
What were you concerned about though? Like
yeah.
where did that pre-worry actually take you? So you're thinking about, oh my God, these people are all A-type personalities. Like, did you kind of go through different scenarios in your mind? Did you play out different things that potentially could happen? Or
So, do you know when you're in a room and like quite a few people are just the boisterous, take up the energy? And I went, and I guess I was being very selfish in the sense I was going, how much energy is this week going to take me? Is this going to be like, okay, Tracy, get up that energy because you got to go into that room and be heard or get out, be part of it. And um I think that's what it was. I think it was an energy level as like, is this going to drain me trying to be social with a group of very boisterous A type personalities? And like I said, it wasn't like that at all. But I think that's where I was going is this is my week too. And is it going to take a lot of energy for me?
did you work that through? Did you work out that problem before you went?
No. You no, of course
See,
you
crickets
did.
are
I
funny
was
like
just like,
dog
let's see
dog.
how it goes.
So
I
you didn't
voiced my
have to.
concern to my husband. I said, and he was like, just relax. And I just said, well, I hope everything goes fine. And
Yeah.
he was just like, of course it's going to go fine. And of course it did. But it bothered me that I grabbed onto something that wasn't even there and added it to this amazing adventure. And I was just like, do you guys do that ever where
Oh,
just
all the time.
you
All the
bring
time.
something in that really has no reason to be there and like
I want to say that that's not that's that statement, it has no reason to be there. You can say that after the fact because it turned out well. But that pre-worry is there because your brain wants you to work something out. Your brain is kind of going, we're going into a situation where we need to have something figured out in advance so I know what to do with that. So that's why I asked, did you do anything with that pre-worry? Like, did you actually go, okay, well, if this happens, then I'm going to do that. That's when pre-worry really serves us, to be able to go, okay, yeah, I'm feeling like this. Now what am I going to do with that? Right. And how do I think I want to show up? What is it that I actually want to do in case that becomes my reality, right? You can still have, plan A, which is I'll just see how everything goes. But the pre-worry gives you the ability to go, I'm going to have a plan if I need to have one.
Well, now that you say that, maybe I did, because my thing was like, even if it's a little energy taxing, I'm still in this amazing place with amazing people and just enjoy what it becomes. So I did acknowledge that, where it was like, it will be whatever it is and just enjoy it for what it is. So maybe I did work it out without really realizing it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did. You had that. That was your plan.
I agree with Tracy E. On that. There was something nagging at you. And I've felt that before, because I don't think we've ever had a discussion on introvert versus an extrovert. But in my past life, my past career, I was in, I would attend 15 to 20, 12 to 15 trade shows. And I would always have to be in this up, full of energy, and always and you're around very strong A-type people all the time. And I found it extremely draining to me, till, to your point, Tracy G, I kind of put a plan in place. You said you didn't, but you kind of did. And my plan in place is, if I walk in and that's noise is too much for me, where's my boundary? How am I going to not exit the situation, but how am I going to internally keep myself calm? And when am I going to have my quiet time and all of that, so I can rebuild the energy to go back into it? So I think there was a little bit of that for you if you started having that conversation with your brain internally 6 months behind, before you went. And like Tracy said, there was something gnawing at you, and you had the conversation with your husband and the whole thing. And I think that's healthy, because you were cognizant of the situation, but you didn't really back down from the situation. You just knew that could arise, and maybe you didn't have that exact plan right then and there, but even being aware that that could happen is important.
Right. Right. But I also, now, as we're just talking, as things come to me since we're talking, is I just wonder if that was more me, in the sense that we've talked about how we're changing and we're trying to be more of the person we want to be. And I wonder, I was kind of putting it on them, like, oh, I've never traveled with them, though socially we've all get together quite a bit. So it's nothing like that. But was that me kind of putting it on me, going, are you, like, you're trying to become this not different person, but improved person, and maybe you're fearful that you might go back into old habits where you're not being Tracy of now, you're being Tracy of 3 years ago or something. So I just thought of that while we were talking.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful observation. Because what it's doing, it triggers you not to go back to the old Tracy. It's like you're like, oh, this could happen, where I could be triggered to go into, and it probably isn't this, but it's that people pleasing, that you adapt your personality to fit in, and that whole thing. And no, I'm going to be this Tracy. And that could have been, and that's an excellent observation.
So it wasn't them I was worried about. It was me.
Of course it was you. It wasn't them. It never was them. It
No,
was
I just realized
always
that now
about
that
me.
I was
Yeah.
putting pressure on, and I was thinking it was like, oh, I haven't, traveled with these two couples. So, like I said, socially, so I know them. But yeah, it was me. Oh my goodness.
But it was an excellent observation for you.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to be that old
Yeah.
Tracy. So your makeup, your body, your mind, your brain were like, well, let's get this
Yeah.
figured out now before you go into it. It's like, to me, when you're talking about that and had that aha moment, it's no different than somebody with a food addiction, a shopping addiction, alcohol addiction, whatever. You prepare before you go in, and being prepared just is part of our safety net.
Mm.
Even just asking that question, is this just me? Brings the awareness of going, is this just me? Like, is this an old anxiety that I have that's showing up, or am I really concerned about what's going to happen here? Right? It even allows you to identify that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think pre-worry is not it's not a bad thing at all. I think it really is it can be a bad thing if we don't do anything with it, if we just sit in worry and anxiety about something, but it can really serve us to become more self-aware, which helps change, which helps transformation. And I think it also can help us in advance of whatever it is that we're going into to already have a plan of what it is. This is how I'm going to show up if this happens. This is what I'm going to do. Right. This is going to be my plan. Right. And then you got your back, right? You got yourself taken care of.
I know, but if we hadn't discussed this, I wouldn't have made the connection. I kept thinking it was my concern with them, where really through this conversation, I realized it was a concern of me. And so not only do you do pre-worry, you should do post-worry and see and go, what was I worried about? And kind of reflect on it, because I wouldn't have had I not had this conversation with you ladies, right? Like I would have just gone, hey, it went great. I had an amazing time, and not have made the connection. So I think you have to do full circle.
Yes.
Full circles are always good things.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love that type of self-discovery and awareness, because I think, Tracy G, through all of it, you really proved to yourself your growth. It was very clear that you were determined to stay in the present.
Yes. Yeah.
That was your determination. And subconsciously, you made sure of it 6 months ago, starting to have this conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
And you chose that energy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it was. It's very energetic.
Yes. So on that note, we would love for you to give us your thoughts. Give us your thought on the episode. If you have any questions, comments, please let us know. We will definitely look at them. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with a friend, and we'll see you every Wednesday. Until then, have a good day.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.